Today we will see how to derive Newton's equations of motions by graphical method. Earlier we have seen the derivation of these equations mathematically. In this video we will learn the derivation part graphically. So let us recall the three equations. First equation is v is equal to u plus at, which is also known as velocity time relation. Because from this equation we get to establish the relation between velocity and time. So very often the first equation of motion is also known as velocity time relation. Second equation is s is equal to ut plus half at square. This equation is also known as position time relation. Okay, and the third equation is v squared minus u squared is equal to 2as, which is also known as position velocity relation. Now, one more important thing in this equation is that these three equations are only applicable under the condition of uniformly accelerated motion. That is, the body should have uniform acceleration. Since we are talking about the graphical representation, so for the derivation part we have to plot a graph. So let us first see how to plot the graph for the derivation. So first of all, derivation of the first equation, that is velocity time relation. The very first thing we will do is that we will plot a graph. And this graph, we will be using for the next two equations also. The same graph we will be using for all the three equations. This is the first equation, and in this equation, in fact for all the equation we will have the velocity versus time graph. So the suitable axis for taking the time is the horizontal axis. Here I have taken the time, and this vertical axis will be taken for representation of velocity. Okay. Also we have uniform acceleration. Since it is uniformly accelerated motion, remember for uniform acceleration we always have a straight line. Okay, so the nature of the graph in this case also will be a straight line. Also, we will not take the slope starting from the origin. That is, from this point we will not take the slope. Why so? I'll reveal afterward. We will take the line from this point. That is, the body, whichever body is under uniform acceleration, that body is having some velocity. Some initial velocity it is having. It is not having zero velocity. Why I have not taken this point? Why I have not drawn a line from this origin? Because if we do so, then in that case the initial velocity of that particular body will become zero. And in this equation, in place of u, we will have to put 0, and we will be unable to satisfy the equation. Right? That is why instead of origin, we have taken this point as the origin point, as the initial point, and that is why I have drawn a line from here. It signifies that from this point to this point it is the initial velocity. Okay, so this will be considered as the initial point. Let us write here u, and the body has started from here. It has approached like this, and it has reached this position. So this is our final position of that particular moving body under uniform acceleration, which is represented by this straight line. Now if we want to identify that which is the final point, so this is our final point. So we will just match this point with this velocity axis. So I am just joining this point to this point. So this, in this axis, this is our final velocity, this is our initial velocity. We can join this to the time axis also, that how much time has been taken by the object in order to reach this particular point. So this much time has been taken. We have to join this line vertically with the time axis. Fine. This is the origin, this is the initial point. So we can take this point to be joined till here. Okay. Now if you say this graphical diagram, then we can just rename the points also. Let us assume this as point A, this as point B, C, D, and this as point E. Okay. Now in this graph, if we will study this graph properly, then we will find that OA is equal to, DC, because these two are equal, parallel and equidistant. So both are equal. So we can write here also OA is equal to DC. Since this is U, so this also could be considered as U, initial velocity. So here we can write OA is equal to DC is equal to U. Fine. Now, from point O to point E, we all know that this is the point of final velocity where the object has reached finally. So this O and E will be considered as the point of final velocity, OE. Now if we just find the another match for OE, then we will find that OE is equal to DB or EO is equal to BD. So EO is equal to BD. That is from here till here it is final velocity. So if this is V, then from here to here this will be also considered as V. So we can write here V, that is the final velocity. Fine. Now from this point O to point D, what is this? This is the time. That is why AC will be also equal to T, because these two are parallel and equidistant. So here again we can write OD is equal to AC is equal to T. Okay. This is a very important information which I will be using in the derivation part. Okay. Now the main part of the equation is V is equal to U plus AT. Final velocity has to be calculated from the equation which is very clearly mentioned. V is the final velocity. Now we will try to find out in this graph which line is representing the final velocity. So the line BD is representing the final velocity. So can you write BD? Now BD is equal to what? BD is equal to BC plus CD. Okay, see the line. If we join BC and CD, it will give you BD. So BD is combination of BC plus CD. What is BC? BC is not mentioned anything. We don't have any information regarding BC. So we will just note it as it is plus CD. But it is clearly mentioned that CD is the initial point, is the initial velocity. So here we can write initial velocity. And what is BD? BD is our final velocity. So we can write V. Okay. So V is equal to BC plus U. Can we write the information for BC? The expression for BC could be written as V minus U. This could be brought on the left hand side and plus U will become minus U. And we have got the expression for BC. Let us name this equation number 1. Also we know from the expression for acceleration. That is acceleration is equal to, here I am writing, right? So from this expression we can derive that what is the change in the velocity. In this graph, the change in the velocity has taken from C to B. Okay, this was the initial point and this is the final point. This is the initial and this is the final point, right? So the change in the velocity has taken from C to point B. That is BC is the point of change in the velocity. So in place of change in velocity, we can write A is equal to BC divided by T, time for T. What is change in the velocity? BC is the change in the velocity. So from here again we will get BC is equal to A into T, or simply we can write AT, right? So again we have got one more equation for BC, that is equal to AT. Let us name it equation number 2. Now observe equation number 1 and equation number 2. Can we substitute that BC is equal to AT in equation number 1? Of course we can do it. So if we put equation number 2 in equation number 1, then we are finally going to get here, on substituting BC is equal to AT in equation 1. What is our equation? BC is equal to V minus U. From equation 2, BC is equal to AT. So here we will have AT is equal to V minus U. and on rearranging we will get v is equal to u plus at. And this is our first equation of motion. How we have done? I have just arranged. We have rearranged the values. We wish to find out what is v. So in order to find out v, I have just written v in the left hand side, and minus u has been brought here. Minus u has become plus u plus at, and on rearranging you will get v is equal to u plus at. So this is our first equation. We have derived graphically. In the next video, I will be explaining about the derivation of the second and the third equation. Thank you.